Good evening, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Going Jack. Episode 7, Ribs.
I think.
Episode 7.
Yeah,
I'm proud that we've got the attention span to keep 7 of these going. This
We don't.
is, well, I'm currently thinking about Pop-Tarts. Today's a special one, though, because we've got 2 guests on. We've got Phil and we've got JT from their own podcast, Lost in His Own Museum. I literally asked the question 30 seconds ago. All right, fellas, how's it going?
Not bad, thanks, mate. Yeah. Thanks for having us on.
Afternoon, evening, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, cheers for having us on, mate.
Good stuff. We've got to ask the question: what have you been watching this week to stop yourself from going Jack?
I don't know who that's aimed at.
Anybody
now?
Anybody? It's a free for all.
It's a free for all. Well, I've not been watching anything sort of out of the ordinary, really. I've been watching a lot of old 90s slashers. I won a competition on YouTube. Somebody sent me a box set of all the I Know What You Did Last Summer movies, because there was more than one. And
several summers over.
There was several summers. It was quite funny, actually. One happened one summer, and then the following summer they wrote to them about what they'd done the previous summer. But yeah, smart ass.
Just a series of shows about a pen pal.
Yeah, it is actually. Yeah, it was nice romantic drama in there. Really, yeah. It missed the Oscars at the time. I'm not really sure why, because the acting in it was top notch, absolutely superb stuff. But no, I watched them. We watched Final Destination. We watched me and Alice. We watched Dead Calm as well, which we're going to be talking about, me and Phil, on our Lost in His Own Museum podcast at some point in the coming week.
Yeah, I just watched that one yesterday as well. It's great. It's really good.
Not one I've seen. It's not one I've seen.
Yeah, what's Dead Calm?
It's a sort of bottle thriller. It's about it's Sam Neill and Nicole Kidman, and they're on holiday. After there's been like this tragic incident, like Nicole Kidman's son's been killed in the car crash, and they go away on a boat, and they come across this guy who's who's been stranded on this big sort of old sailing sloop, and it turns out that he's like murdered everybody on his boat, and Sam Neill gets stuck on his boat and leaves this serial killer alone with his wife, and they're sort of trying to. Sam Neill's trying to catch this guy, and like the wife's trying to it's all
and it's this knackered old sailing ship, and Sam Neill's there pumping all the water out of it, and then you've got this whole weird Stockholm syndrome bit going on with Billy Zane, who's the killer, and Nicole Kidman. It's not aged well.
It's 1989. It's not great.
Like most of us.
I really enjoyed it, though, I think.
I've aged like a fine Big Mac. I don't know what you're talking about.
That's a bit of a... Because have you ever seen...
Hardened and smelly, or...
Well, I was going to say, though, have you ever seen the, like...
Not anymore, I've had a wash.
You ever seen, like, videos of someone that's, like, left a Big Mac to, like, for, like, weeks, and they come back to it, and it's just the same because there's some crap in it? So you could say that...
Even the microorganisms don't want it.
I know.
Although, interesting fact about Sam Neill. I mean,
he's not on this podcast.
Oh, well, he's coming on.
Well, actually, here he is, Mr. Sam Neill.
Sam joining us via satellite.
What's going on, fellas? Sam Bougie.
Hello, Richard. You do say that. Did you know that he was born in Oma?
Yep, I knew that.
I didn't.
Yeah.
He was born in Oma, which is why
I feel like you can hear
sing Northern Irish accent.
Yeah, like he is really good at it. Like he was awesome in Peaky Blinders. I really enjoyed that first series.
You better watch your back, Mr. Shelby.
He did blow it up in the same way that people that aren't from Northern Ireland do Northern Irish accents. As someone that's watching Sons of Anarchy, Ruben, you can...
Oh, don't, please. Please
don't.
No, the Northern Irish accents in Sons of Anarchy are actually hurtful.
Yeah, coming up for you.
It's whenever they're like... They're one of the, like, the IRA, like, members' sons is, like, dating one of the girls, and... Like, he comes off the phone with, like, the big IRA boss, and he's like, you have to make sure that you look after my dad. And I'm like, oh, dear. For a start, that's not how you speak. at all regarding the pitch, even. Like, nobody finishes that with a sentence with a question at the end. You better look after my dad.
I'm Ron Burgundy. Damn it! Pull out the question mark on the teleprompter
And
again.
then he turns around to the girl he's with and goes, "Morning, darling," and you're like, just like, no.
It's the point where it's not even how humans talk, like regardless of it's supposed to be Irish or not. Like,
I reckon people that like watch that but have never been here just think that we all speak like really intense and everything's a question.
Yeah.
Either that or they think that everything's today? Constantly on fire.
You talk like that anyway, Ruben.
All right.
And everything with an upward inflection, like you're asking a question.
I've noticed whenever you get angry now, Ribs, you go into this wee kind of English twang on your Northern Irish. It's the funniest thing.
We're turning him into a Yorkshireman, that's what it is.
I've not noticed this, but I don't think I've seen you particularly angry yet, have I?
Yet. I love what? Yet.
I've told you, this band, I'm a difficult taskmaster, mate, this time. We'll get there.
I've got my grievances in writing.
Excellent. And on recording as well.
I don't record them.
I'm curious to hear it, though, just going from you to me. I must say I'm bloody well annoyed today. Is it that sort of a...
I don't tell you.
Chaps, I must say my feathers are quite ruffled.
It's like the reverse thing.
I've been fed with my pen of rage.
You know the dad in The Wolf of Wall Street? It's like the reverse of that. You know when he gets really angry and then just like picks up the phone and, "Hello, Dean." Yes. Slams it down and goes, "Fucking hell."
Who calls at this time on a Tuesday night? A Tuesday night. Yes, hello, how are you? But
so
yes.
You're watching Dead Calm then. Phil, tell us what you're watching to stop yourself from going Jack.
Well, we've been binging a few things. Me and my girlfriend we've been steadily sort of working our way through Dexter. Bought the box set of that. We've been watching David Tennant and Michael Sheen's new thing on BBC, which is like the little. It's called Staged. It's like a little thing they made during lockdown, where they pretty much just filmed doing Zoom calls and like improvised comedy between characters. And the story is that they're like because they've got into lockdown, they're trying to they're rehearsing for like a play that they want to do when it's all over. So they want to get ahead of it, and so it's ready as soon as it's over. But then like lockdown just keeps going and going and going. So yeah, that's really funny. I can't recommend that enough.
I was
sold as soon as you said David Tennant and Michael. I think that's all I needed. Like,
yeah.
I don't need any more than that. I really don't. He's another really underappreciated actor.
Did you see Good Omens?
Yes.
Amazing. So
good.
Is it good?
It is. It took me a moment to grasp what I was watching when I was watching Good Omens, because it's a bit mental.
See, I don't usually do this, but like I read the book like years ago.
Of course, you did.
Big Terry Pratchett fan, and so like I've been really excited about this coming out for years, and it's like they've tried to do it before and it doesn't translate well to TV, and they've done it in radio plays and stuff like that, and it just doesn't work. So like this time round, it was like I was just praying it was going to be good. And with David Tennant and Michael Sheen, can't go wrong. You know, you've got loads of other really good sort of guest stars in there as well. And it was amazing. It was absolutely
most adaptations of books, which are just disappointing.
Yeah, they pretty much stayed quite true to it. It had to be a miniseries, though. It wouldn't have worked in a film format because there's just so much of it. You'd end up missing out. So it had to be that 6-hour, mini
episodic sort of thing.
Yeah.
Would you recommend the book before the show?
Yes, I would.
Yeah. So I remember last year.
It doesn't really matter because it's quite true to it. So it's such a good book. It's Terry Pratchett and Neil Gaiman. You can't go wrong with that.
Oh, flip, yeah.
Yeah, Terry Pratchett, low key.
Might have to pick it up. Yeah. Did anyone watch Bird Box?
Yes.
So I read the book of Bird Box first. I think I said this to you, Ribs.
You did.
But the Bird Box book is just amazing. Like, it's so dark, but so like it keeps you it kind of keeps you going. And then I saw that the film and thought, oh, flip here, I'll maybe check the film out. Oh, what a pile of muck.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I enjoyed the film, but I haven't read the book, so I don't know. But
the book's class.
I'll take your word for that.
Yeah.
The other thing I've been doing to stop myself going, Jack, is I just started doing a James Bond marathon, trying to get through them all.
Yes.
So the last couple of days I've been on that. I'm up to. I watched Diamonds Are Forever last night, so that's closed out Connery.
Brilliant.
Probably watch Live and Let Die after we're done with this.
Oh, I love that film.
Right.
Good
Yeah,
man.
me too.
Good man.
It's awesome.
Like for me, like Bond wise, and this we won't stay on this for long because otherwise this will turn into a Bond podcast. But
Yep.
Yeah, we have the same
purely
problem.
because of the company that we're keeping right now. But like so many of my favorite Bond movies are Roger Moore Bond movies. But my favorite Bond movie, my favorite Bond is Connery. So work that one out.
I'm similar because my favorite Bond is Dalton, so you can put booze in there if you want. Because I know controversial opinion.
I will put that in.
Yeah, I will. Yeah.
But, and we have sound effects.
I can find it. Do you remember the bit
layering himself over and over and over again?
Do you remember the bit in Monty Python in the Holy Grail with the like half-assed applause when they do the cartoon bit, and there was much rejoicing. Like, hey. I find that.
But yeah, my favorite is Tim Dalton, but Roger Moore's films are so accessible to watch. Like you can just stick them on. It doesn't matter that you just let them. You know, you don't have to pay attention. Do you? Just immerse yourself in it, sort of thing. We watched Moonraker the other night because I'm doing them all, not as sort of timely as Phil is, but I'm doing one a week for me.
Yeah, I'm trying to catch up.
Series. Yeah, but James has seen them so many times he could be in them. So
the last time I saw them, me and James watched all of them together in like 4 days.
Oh yeah, that was brilliant. That was
commitment.
27 films in 3.5 days, wasn't it? But yeah,
just commitment, really.
It was mental. It was awesome.
I think is the word you're looking for.
Yeah, some of them
happens with like just that like level of exposure over that short amount of time. Do you like leave like convinced that you're in a spy world?
More or less, that's pretty
James rode his car off the day after, like
trying to do the like flip over the two bridges.
Yeah, there's still a knackered 206 at the bottom of the Leeds Liverpool canal.
I can't do that thing every time I picked up a pen, just like clicking it obsessively to see if it exploded.
At this point, I'd like to point out we still go in for exploding pens.
And when Phil doesn't blow up, he screams, "I am invincible!" at the top of his lungs.
That's my favorite Bond movie. Goldeneye is my favorite Bond movie. I love it.
I actually think Brosnan might be my favorite Bond.
Same. He never got a fair shot because it was Goldeneye was amazing. Tomorrow Night Dies was pretty good.
He got 4 chances and a 50% conversion rate of 4 films.
But it wasn't his fault though. Like it was the other two were really badly written.
They were, to be fair.
They were, but
and they even though Tomorrow Never Dies is my favorite of the Brosnan ones, they rushed that out because they wanted to get it out before Titanic because they knew that was going to be an absolute, smash hit and
terrible film.
So if they'd have waited, they probably could have had an even stronger second film. And the less said about there's not enough and Die Another Day.
Yeah,
I actually really like Diane. I quite like that one, to be honest. I think it was because it was the first one I saw in the cinema.
Same, yeah. I was like that. Like,
yeah.
Die Another Day is one of those that starts really well and it gets, but it like
gradually
it's a silly
gets worse.
Film. It's just it's a really silly, ridiculous film. So it's like
I think it flops into its own like exaggerated universe of like Bond physics and like how things work, and
there's some glimmers of gold in it.
Parody.
There's some glimmers of gold in it, like but I just think overall it's
the first 30 minutes are all right, and then it's just like ice palaces and Halle Berry making your mama jokes, and like the bad guy.
And there's the podcast title.
Palaces, Halle Berry making your mama jokes.
But like the bad guy practically dresses up as Iron Man at the end. I mean, what kind of nonsense is that?
Yeah, it was a bit silly.
Oh yeah,
awkward moment when Die Another Day was part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
See, I find Bond kind of splits into two sort of subgenres. You've got like the gritty ones, like the sort of more realistic one, and then the ridiculous, like stuff like Diamonds Are Forever, and and I do like both. I do like both of the sort of subgenres, but I think like as long as you sort of identify which ones are which, and like Die Another Day kind of was marketed as like the more gritty one, and it was fucking it was ridiculous. Like it's the stupidest film I've ever. It's one of the stupidest films I've ever seen.
It's not great, but
the Ice Palace car chase is crazy. It's so mental. Like,
But yeah.
No, I go Jack after watching that.
Hey, he flipped it round.
He said it. He said it. He said it on the podcast.
I'm not for that. I'm a family guy.
And that's why I have to be Superman 4, the quest for peace.
They represent a clear and present danger. So what about you guys? What have you been watching?
Oh, I forgot.
Beautiful
Do you know what? Like,
segue,
but like, do you know what? Like, popped into my head whenever you said the Superman thing. Whenever he like throws his like the Superman logo and it stops the guy, and the guy's like, "What the hell was that?" And he's like, "Yeah, slowed you down. That was a minor inconvenience."
The tagline of that film.
That was a minor inconvenience.
Superman 5, a minor inconvenience.
I would argue that all of the DC universe has been a minor inconvenience for me for the past couple of years.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's not great.
3 hours.
Not been the same since the Dark Knight trilogy. Like,
oh dear.
No, absolutely not. I actually took a steer away from, because I've just been. I think we talked about it last week, and I think Phil, you and I have talked about it as well. And I've been absolutely blitzing Sons of Anarchy.
yeah.
But I've got to like season 4, episode 5 or something, and I'm just now looking at it going, "Yep, fatigue setting in."
You're getting the fatigue.
It's setting in.
You got quite far though.
I got over halfway.
Yeah,
But I think
all
all of the terrible attempts at Northern Irish accents and trying to, whenever like it's like, Richard, have you watched Line of Duty? Has anybody watched Line of Duty?
Episode. We started watching it and then just
No.
never really picked it back up.
I'll come back to that at some point because it's absolutely marvelous. But it's like Line of Duty, like all of it's filmed in Northern Ireland, mostly in Belfast. So like you just like point out things and go, "Oh, look, I know where that is. Oh, I know where that is." So like I'm getting to like pointing out like landmarks and like Sons of Anarchy on my own, like some sort of strange individual just going, "Oh, look, there's St. George's Market," and looking around me going, "Yes, Ruben, yes, it is St. George's Market. Good effort, mate. You're officially lonely."
You're officially lonely.
But I think I just got to a point where I just went, "Yeah, I need a break from this." So
Need to talk to people.
Yeah.
That scene
Go
from
outside.
do you talk to people?
that scene from Once
Wilson
Upon a
doesn't
Time
talk to me anymore.
in Hollywood whenever he like sits up holding the beer.
Oh yeah.
DiCaprio just points at himself on the screen. Yeah,
He's such a meme now. I love it.
everything DiCaprio is a meme.
Yes, it
But
is.
yeah, so I jumped onto the movie bandwagon this week instead of going for TV.
Okay.
And I watched Green Book.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's good.
Just bought that
Which-
today on your recommendation.
Really? Yeah, I mean, I don't know why I hadn't watched it for so long, because like it's got Mahershala Ali, can't believe we got his name right first time, and Viggo Mortensen in it, which are two absolute superstars. Viggo Mortensen also doesn't get enough love.
I don't think he does,
for an actor. I mean, he can go from talking about how Gondor needs saving and whatever else to being a wise guy
Yeah.
driving a musician around in Green
think
Book. So it's
It was
just
kind of hard for him to get out of that Lord of the Rings sort of stigma. I think that was a tough one. To get back into sort of being taken seriously as an actor.
Well, he took time away, didn't he? He wasn't in anything for quite a while after Lord of the Rings at all. At least I didn't see him in anything major. But like, it's like 1 minute he's talking like this about taking the ring to Mordor, and next minute he's talking like this, driving a man around New York City, and all. It's just ridiculous. Like, but he just plays it so well. Like, he plays a character that, by definition, you should really not like.
Yeah.
Like he's obviously in the time it's set, like he's an Italian American who obviously has a very one-dimensional outlook on life, and I then meets Mahershala Ali, who's a black musician who in that time, like, those two races or backgrounds didn't see eye to eye. So like it's this whole thing of you're gonna be it's almost like, oh, you should be on one side or the other, but like Viggo Mortensen as a character, he's portrayed to be a character you just shouldn't like.
Yeah.
But you cannot help but like him. You can't help but really like him. And Mahershala Ali is painted as a character who you should absolutely adore, and you almost struggle to like him at times.
Yeah.
So it's a really interestingly balanced film, but like it'll tug on your. I mean, we say the phrase all the time, Oscar bait, because it
certainly is.
It was Oscar bait. Do you know what I mean? Like, and you'll know whenever you watch it. But I don't mind Oscar bait films when they are actually top-notch films.
Yeah,
when they're actually good films.
When they go and make a good film for the sake of making a good film, not just to be, sort of sent around at awards season sort of thing.
Yeah, like.
And Green Book did win Best Picture, didn't it?
It did win Best Picture, yeah. It won Best Picture. But like, there's a lot of Best Pictures that I think are very overrated. Like, I didn't really like Moonlight. I appreciated it because it was a very, very well made film, like a really, really well made film. But it didn't blow me away. Yet you look at Spotlight, which again is pure Oscar bait, but it's an unbelievable film.
Yeah. Did that one win?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a fantastic film, that, isn't it?
It's unbelievable.
So
like, the cast in that's ridiculous as well. Like Michael Keaton, Mark Ruffalo,
Amy Adams
Rachel
as well?
McAdams.
Oh, it's Rachel McAdams.
McAdams. Who's the other? There's another big lead as well. But you've got Alexis Stanley Tucci and all in it as well, I believe, from what I remember. But like, I don't mind an Oscar bait film when they actually go out of their way to make it a cracking film.
Yeah.
But yeah, Green Book it's really well done. The soundtrack's brilliant as well because
the soundtrack's awesome.
You've got like the balance of, Mahershala Ali's character is it kind of genre is he? I suppose he's a classic pianist, classical music, isn't it? Really, sort of.
Yeah. Classical jazz.
Classical jazz, probably the best. So like you've got like all his pieces that are all very, very beautifully put together on a piano, and they're just like a thing of beauty. And then you've got like when they go into bars and stuff where you've got like all the real like rock music or blues music and stuff, and it's just again this marvelous balance of
shows that sort of contrast between the two
between again the two backgrounds. So like it's a beautifully shot movie as well. Like it's so well done, and it's got so many nice moments where you go, I like that, that's a nice moment. But then there's also like bits where you kind of like, oh, I don't like you, or like there's bits like you will get drawn into it. It's really, really good. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I can't believe it's taken me so long to watch it, if I'm honest.
I saw it because I remember watching the Oscars that year, and I hadn't because I love the Oscars. Like I always even if I haven't seen all the films, and I hadn't seen it, and I thought, it took me a few weeks, and I ended up watching it, but I haven't watched it again since. So I probably should get on that. Because I just remember it being amazing. Like it was really good.
Well, I picked up the DVD today in Tesco on the back of Ruben's recommendation in the group chat. So,
so no pressure. James comes on in 2 weeks and goes, "What was that absolute drivel you just made me watch?"
We've had that conversation before.
Yeah, we have. It was our live stream, you said, wasn't it? You said that,
Yeah. It was me that were pitchy that night, though. Not you.
What have you been watching, Richard, the last but not least? Well, completely least, but last. But
I might have to pick up... I might have to pick up Green Book. I think it might be on Prime, but it's been like...
I think it is on
Prime. That's where I watched it.
I've seen it like floating back and forth, and I keep meaning to watch it, but I've never really sat down. I've been watching a few things. I've finished Supernatural, so I feel like that was quite a...
I feel like applause is needed.
That's an achievement and a half.
That's a big achievement.
My goodness, like
there's so much of it.
There's so much of it, but the ending, I really, really, really liked it. Like there was the finale, which I thought was the finale, but then there was an episode after, which was really like tying up like wee knots and all. But yeah, really, really, really enjoyed it. So I'm gonna watch the finale again just because I wanna because it's such a long, like 15 seasons. I kind of want to take it in again. But yeah, Supernatural, love it. And then WandaVision came out on Friday.
Oh yeah, I still haven't seen that yet.
Yes, it did.
It is now Wednesday, and I've seen it 4 times. Watched the 2 episodes. Just if I'm sitting doing nothing, it's like, screw it up, put on WandaVision. And it's highlighted this part of me that is just craving for, like, if Marvel dropped a TV show about just anything, I would have it on back to back, looking for some Easter egg that points me to the future.
Yeah.
But I've watched far too much of it, and then discovered that Prime have put the Matrix trilogy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I watched The Matrix again today, which is such an amazing film.
It's awesome.
Like the first
so
Matrix
good.
movie is just so perfect.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Shame
I
about
love
the
it
other two,
so
innit?
much.
I was just going to say exactly that.
You
Shame
behave
about the
yourselves.
sequels.
There's moments in the other two that I really like. You know, there's parts of it that I'll watch again and again. Like if I'll find a video on YouTube and watch that scene, you know, like
You won't subject yourself to the whole
it's
film.
not the whole thing. The bit where he's fighting, where he fights all the Agent Smiths with the big stick.
Oh
Yeah, that's just gold. Like,
And
imagine that now.
Freeway chase is as well from Reloaded, and like there's bits
Yeah.
of the other ones, but the Matrix, the first one's the only one that I think I could ever sit through the whole thing again. Like,
Yeah, the first one's the only one I go back to.
yeah.
It's a thing of beauty.
What do we reckon number 4 is going to be like? Because that's going straight to digital this year, isn't it?
Is the 4th Matrix movie out this year?
It's like July this year or something.
Yeah,
isn't
it's
it?
gonna be.
I thought it was next year.
Yeah.
Why are they going back to it? Where are they? Apart from the obvious.
I think Keanu
You know,
Reeves
yeah,
is
that
off
was
his
the
pension
obvious
fund.
because-
Yeah.
Because
Oh, no.
Keanu Reeves is somehow more of a superstar than he was when The Matrix originally came out.
Yeah, I'm not quite
What
sure
would
how
it-
that happened. Like,
But
'Cause
is it
he's-
John Wick? Is John Wick what is propelled? Because he seems to be now a pop culture icon. Like he's just like kind of
Everywhere.
like yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like because he's in games, he's in. But like when did that? Because I think it started with John Wick.
Yeah, that's definitely like him coming back. He's kind of doing a bit of a Liam Neeson, isn't he? Sort of like Ruben's screwing his nose up. but he is in them. I mean, like Taken did that for Liam Neeson, didn't it?
Yeah,
Then we got a
pretty
trilogy of Taken films, and then he's gone and made loads of films that are just like Taken, but taken on a bus or taken on a plane or taken in
pretty
a
much
public
how it is,
bathroom,
yeah.
or and Keanu's doing the same
Taking the
thing, isn't
piss.
he?
Die Hard in space. Like,
Taking the piss. I like that, mate.
You know the way the first two Taken films are pretty much just the same film.
yeah,
Second
well,
one's absolute garbage, though, isn't
Oh
it?
yeah.
Yeah.
I was watching an interview with the director, and the guy was like, whoever was doing the interview was quite good, and he said like, do you want to maybe speak to some of the controversy around the films? And the director took the like literally saw a door and went, that one there. But he said, if you just pretend that the first two films are one film, but just told two different ways. So somebody and his family gets kidnapped, and it leads to the third film, which is him having to go after.
Makes it so much worse.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
that's
I know.
like,
We weren't
That's
happy
just
with the
lazy
first
writing.
one, so we made it again.
Now you can be disgusted at two films.
The first one's passable. We rewatched it over New
I quite
Year.
like the first one.
I think it's
and,
brilliant.
and the
second
third
one's
one,
crap.
yeah, the third one's a reasonable and acceptable part
It
too.
is. They're trying to make a series
Yeah,
of it,
yeah,
didn't
yeah.
they?
Yeah, there's a TV
Yeah,
series, but I
that's
think
right.
it died a death, didn't it?
So did Lethal
Yeah,
Weapon, I
did a bit,
believe.
yeah.
And it's like on CBS Gold or whatever, like a channel nobody ever watches.
It's
You
on,
know-
now on Alibi.
Coming soon
5
to
star.
watch.
Going to the 5-star everything with
yeah.
Liam Neeson in it.
I
Yes,
love,
we
I
are
love
owned by the
the
Food Network.
yeah. So there was the crossover that they did with the Taken series and Can't Pay Will Take It Away. That was brilliant.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Can't
that's quite
Taken.
Have you seen they did like a TV show for, this is where you'll see my brain scramble, the Bradley Cooper, Robert De Niro one, where he takes the pill and
Limitless.
Limitless. So they did a Netflix show, and the Netflix show is really, really, really good. And I think it got cancelled, so like it never got like picked up for a second
The
season.
movie is also really good.
The movie's amazing, and the
It's
TV
really
show,
great, yeah.
I believe, is a worthy TV show. I'm not like if you can have that, but it's a worthy.
Yeah, it's something that they took from a film,
Yeah,
turned it into
and
TV, and actually did it well for a change, because that
Okay.
barely ever happens.
I've not watched it. Does it follow on? Because I know Bradley Cooper's got a cameo of sorts in it, hasn't he?
He has a couple of cameos in it, but it does follow on. But it is good. I really like that idea. I think it's a good idea for like
It is.
like its own wee kind of universe, like being able to.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's good. I would. Yeah, it's only like 15 episodes.
It
long.
can work well sometimes. They brought back Evil Dead as a TV series, and that was great.
Ah.
I still haven't seen the Dust Till Dawn one yet.
No, I
That was
haven't.
supposed to be really good.
I think that's more of like a reboot rather than a continuation,
I
though, isn't
suppose
it?
it
It's
is,
just another crack at the same source material.
Did anybody see? Did anyone see the Lethal Weapon one?
No.
No, it was on my
Deliberately
list.
stayed away.
I saw
Yeah,
Marlon Wayans in it and went, no.
I'm sort of.
Apparently,
I'm
he
curious,
was really
I want to know
difficult
if
to
it's
work
good.
with, or no?
Yeah.
Somebody on that set was like really difficult to work with.
It was the guy that played Riggs.
Sean William Scott, wasn't it?
No,
he replaced him.
No, he stepped in.
Yeah, because he's not playing Riggs, though, in Sean William Scott. He's playing another character because what they ended up doing for the season 2 or 3 finale on it. I've not even seen this, so why do I know it? But
Because you love Lethal Weapon.
I do. It's been revoked. Not sure he really set you up for that line, but
I'll have what she's
I'll
having.
have what she's having.
That's better.
but no, they went with the original ending of Lethal Weapon 2 where Riggs dies because the guy was being such an
watching
arse.
that now, isn't it?
Yeah, that's
Just
right.
killed him off. I'm
It's
really
a
curious.
30-year-old film, mate.
I want to know if the TV series is good, but like nobody I know has seen it. Like I can't seem to get any first-hand information because like
That should tell you all you need to know.
Yeah, I know. Everyone's deliberately avoiding it.
Absolutely.
So,
No, I didn't go near it for that reason. I just didn't have faith in it at all.
No.
Yeah, same.
Not
There
at
we
all.
go.
Do you want to move on and play a game?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Jingle.
Jingle.
So, the game that we've got this week is Mr. and Mrs. But because we've got our podcast and their podcast, we thought that it would be quite quirky to do it with podcast hosts. So, Ruben and I, you'll be in a team with me. And then Phil and JT, you'll be representing Lost in his own museum.
You got it right this time. Well done.
Nice.
I did.
Spot on pronunciation. Well done.
I've been practicing.
chose wisely.
You chose poorly. Oh dear. Oops.
Little shout out
so-
to Lost in his own museum.
I know.
Little shout out.
Yes.
So Phil, I believe you've got the questions, don't you?
I've got questions for you guys. Yeah.
I've got some too.
Brilliant.
I have none.
Neither do I.
We're in the same boat then, Rich.
I do very little for this podcast. I just turn up.
Don't give them a peek behind the curtain.
So, which actor would play them in a film about their life?
Ah,
This is where I have to remember back to episode 1 whenever
do we write
Richard
it
and
down
I
or do we
discussed
just call
this.
it out?
Do you know what? I don't know why I asked that because that was in episode 1.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
that
it was.
requires us to
Maybe he's talking
remember.
about it. Yeah.
It was Dame Judi Dench for Ruben, wasn't it?
It
was.
was actually
It was.
It was actually Imelda Staunton. Thank you.
Oh,
If you're going to address
Probably,
me
yeah.
as a queen, get it right.
Should we
Sorry,
write
Professor.
it down, Rubes?
Can't believe it. I take umbrage to that. Sorry, that's awful. I'll see myself out. I'll see
Take umbrage
myself
to
out.
I'm gonna write down mine.
We write them
and
down.
you write down yours, and then we'll guess it, and you hold it up whether or not it's right.
Goodness.
Oh, that's a good shout. Never thought of
Oh, for goodness sake.
Do you think he's compensating for something?
Ogres are like onions.
We have layers.
With a puppy.
You know-
With a puppy.
I'm a dog on the edge.
I was cracking. I was not expecting that.
I watched that the other day.
There's always an
and it
impression
had
or
me in
9 on
bits.
this.
It had me in bits. It's the bit where he turns around and he goes, "You stop being annoying for the And then at the end when he comes in on the dragon, that's when he goes, "I'm a dog on the edge." It's
I
such a
like
good
that
film.
boulder. There's a nice boulder.
It is a nice boulder.
I have to try and think
man.
of who did Richard say play him in a film? This is really upsetting that I don't remember this. And it was like,
I have it written down here.
I'm trying to find some paper so I can do the same. But
oh my word, oh this is awful.
I'm going to use my phone.
So am I. Right, Ribs,
Yeah, that's a good
I
idea.
know yours.
The worst part is, and this is who I would want because I can't remember who actually it was.
I can remember who it was that
Don't
we.
do that.
So can we answer then? So I've got what mine was written down. So then you'll say it, and I'll lift it up, and you'll see whether or not you're right. Do you want to go first?
No.
Do you want me to go first?
No.
No. Pen and paper.
Oh my word!
I'll go first then.
You go first.
Yours was Chris Pratt.
It was Chris Pratt, and I've come off my note, but yes, it was Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
This is upsetting me that I don't remember this. I'm such a bad Mr. and Mrs.
It's all right. You can make the castle roll.
Be cold by the time it gets to you.
Oh dear.
So mine for you, and again, I think this is more who I would want. I've got Ryan Reynolds. It's a black screen. Yes, the black phone screen to play Richard in a movie. Hey,
Nice.
1 for 1.
I know my partner.
So how's this gonna work? Are you guys gonna ask us, or are we gonna
Well,
do
we
it
do
over
it
again?
back and forth then. So
Yeah.
we'll ask you one. And have you got one, Ribs?
I do. Hold on.
Good man.
We're working on the fly here. This is embarrassing. Joking. So
That's how he works all the time.
Welcome to the podcast, fellas.
did not come on here to be ridiculed.
Why'd you come on then?
I know, right?
Just you sign out, lad.
Who's to blame for me getting ridiculed?
Who to blame for Doom Cult? That's so funny as well because it's such a line. Like nobody outside of no one outside of Belfast will ever get that line.
No, absolutely not.
Right, go.
What is their favorite movie vehicle?
Oh, that's such a good question.
Ooh.
James smiled there. That's such a sinister smile that you don't know what he's.
Is this going to be really? Is like without giving anything away? Is this going to be really specific?
Yes.
Like to the year?
Not to the year.
Or to the film, or like.
It's not going to be what you think it is at all.
Ooh.
Oh.
I think I know James's, but I'm not sure.
I don't think you do either.
Yeah, I thought I did, and then he said that.
We'll soon find out.
Okay.
Problem is, one of mine is now irrelevant because we've already talked about it.
Okay, you ready?
So how are we doing this again? Remind me of the rules. When do I speak?
Okay, so you've written your one down, yeah? Like your actual favorite movie vehicle.
I
you're
have.
spoken
All right, so I've got to guess what it is, and you've got to
You
guess
have to put your hand up.
Excuse me, miss. Can I go to the bathroom?
You should have gone at break.
I didn't need to go then.
Can I use the bathroom? I don't know. Can you? That's the worst one. Any teacher that says that quietly quit.
Like
Politely quit.
Okay. I think
that's what our viewers say every week. Our listeners say every week.
Politely quit.
Politely quit.
So
I think JT's favorite movie vehicle is the Batmobile from Batman from 1989 Batman.
So I've got two that are joint.
Oh, for goodness, there's always one.
That's cheating. You can't do that.
Oh, the question was one.
All right then. Well, my second place is the 89 one then, mate.
Okay. Is it
I
still
didn't realise
Batmobile?
that it was multiple choice, Mr. and Mrs.
This is what I said about specifics, man. So is it the Batmobile, right?
It's not a Batmobile.
It's not a Batmobile. In that case, I have no idea.
Fair enough.
What's mine?
So I've guessed for you the Blues Brothers police car.
Oh,
Yeah.
well done.
Very
It's a
nice.
Batmobile.
Fair
What was
enough. Mine was I'm going to get ridiculed. The Mystery Machine.
No.
Oh,
From
come on.
Scooby-Doo?
Yeah.
Ah,
I would have
not guessed
I would have that van in a heartbeat.
Damn. Oh,
Fair
so
enough.
That's incredible.
enough.
I don't want a different answer to that. That's marvelous.
that's amazing.
That's great.
Okay, so
Also,
I've got no
two
idea.
very underappreciated films. Just saying, like the live action ones are.
Yeah.
I'm a serious soft spot for them.
Oh yeah. What would your favorite vehicle be, Ribs?
You tell me.
Them's the rules.
Damn's the rules.
Everybody gets one.
See, I'd probably say either the Bluesmobile or like Christopher Nolan's Batmobile.
Yeah, no, I love Nolan's Batmobile. It's awesome.
You'd be incorrect.
So what would you say yours is?
Aston Martin DB5.
Oh yeah, good call.
Which
Can you
one,
guess
though?
mine?
All right, to stop that.
DB5. We don't do years.
According to you, we are, Phil.
The one with the missiles and the headlights. The interchangeable number plates.
That's just the number DB5.
DB5. Yeah.
What would I say Richards is?
I feel like mine's quite easy.
It's probably the car from Supernatural. I don't remember what model it is. I feel like it's a Mustang, but I'm not sure.
It's not a Mustang, but no, that's not it. No.
Oh, is it not? Fair enough. It would appear I was wrong.
But that's a
no,
close
it's not.
second.
No, I know what is. It's the
What is it?
DeLorean.
Of course, it's the DeLorean.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, it's the DeLorean. Back to the Future is the perfect film.
It is.
Perfect film.
It really is. I'm in complete agreement.
Yeah.
I think I've got it sitting up there. Oh, I've got my. I do have it up there.
You've got that up there.
Oh, that's a shelf. I thought that was the ceiling. I thought you'd gone mad for a second then.
No. Slowly losing it.
So another one for you guys. What is their favorite movie starring Nicolas Cage?
Favorite Nicolas Cage film? I don't even think oh man.
I know what mine is like.
Right. Ribs, you want to go first?
I think yours is gone in 60 seconds.
It is. So
Yes.
I was like midway
Good shot.
through writing Gone.
That is a great film.
That is a great film.
Yeah.
That is.
Fantastic.
What do they call the car? I think it's Eleanor. Isn't it? Yeah.
Eleanor,
yeah.
I actually think I might have
Shelby
it.
Mustang.
Hold on. I think I might actually have it here.
I like it.
Can we just put some
Nice.
elevator music in here just for?
Oh, that's awesome.
I
Love it.
like that. I did not know. I've been in that room. How did I not know you had that?
If you've ever it's such a way.
Oh, that requires me to care. Sorry.
It's such a weird little like collection of stuff. There's so much like random. So I signed up. Do you remember that box that they used to do, the
Loot crate.
loot crate? So I got like 6 or 7 of those. So there's loads of like really random stuff up there. And then I got like a Fallout toy whenever I bought Fallout. Ruben would probably say that yours is the same, gone in 60 seconds. But feeling that Face Off? No, I don't know then.
Anyone else want to weigh in on this?
Is it The Rock?
It is The Rock.
Oh,
Yeah.
The Rock!
Yeah, Matt, that was going to
Oh.
It is The Rock. Either that or Con Air, because
be. That was my second guess.
yeah, either that or Con Air.
I need one of those little dinging things from like a hotel lobby. You know, like when somebody gets the answer right. I'll put it in post. We'll do that. I'll time it perfectly for comedic effect. We'll be all right.
Brilliant. Excuse me. Next up then. Have you got one, Ribs?
This could get quite interesting.
Oh.
Although I feel like James knows this for Phil quite well, but who is their movie stroke TV crush? Male or female?
Come on, brain. You can
I'm
do
also
this.
going to try and think of Richard's while I'm at it here. I don't know whether I can. Oh, I think I know yours.
Maybe I've talked about it before.
I know it for TV, definitely, not for a movie.
Which is?
I'd say Pam.
It's not actually. It's not. Tis Amelia Clark.
Oh, yeah, but as who? You need a TV crush. You need a character, not
Anybody.
an actress.
Anybody. She can play a phone book.
Which she did in 2007 in the movie Yellow Pages opposite Ryan Gosling.
It was an Oscar-winning performance.
It was perfect to the letter. I'll let myself in again, sorry.
Here, do you know who the directory was for that one?
I'm gonna, you know what? In post, I'm gonna like shorten the gap to make it like between
to make
it look like you thought of that straight away. Like,
That's not magic.
And Phil,
I might just make it longer. Like,
and Phil's fixing Richard's comedic timing.
I love it.
It may seem funnier than I am.
He's gonna end up cutting us all together, isn't he? And making us have a completely different conversation. You know, like when you get like ransom like letters or whatever. But it's gonna be like the podcast version of it. Like, you know what I'm talking about.
What, like so basically somebody in Sons of Anarchy with a Northern Irish accent.
Right, go on. Who's my celebrity?
When did Amelia Clark play the Blues Mobile? That's a weird one.
It was 06. The weather was hot. So Phil's TV movie crush is, if I am guessing right, Miss Elijah Dushku.
Ooh,
it is indeed.
I think I've been
Echo from Dollhouse.
Ah, okay.
And the final girl from Wrong Turn.
Yep.
I've seen
but mostly Echo from
those
Dollhouse.
things.
Oh,
Dollhouse
you should watch both. They're both great.
Yeah. I think yours is Michelle Pfeiffer.
It's most certainly not.
Oh, I was really hoping he'd hit the nail on the head.
Nope, definitely not.
Is she even your favourite Catwoman?
She's not.
That's nasty.
Oh, that's nasty.
Oh, what?
Peter, I asked you not to make me do this, but
I'm sorry, Cleveland. We had to do it.
If you need me, I'll be in the clam.
The world has to
Come
know.
back from his show.
The gift was the show.
Now, hold on. This is dangerous. Flipping three of us here.
Brian, get back to your crate.
What? Out of the crate?
oh,
You should feel safe there.
all I have to do is start pretend sneezing, and you become an outside dog. Faster Than the Speed of Love by Richard McDade.
Oh, love it. That Cleveland voice caught me so off guard.
I knew I'd beat him.
Thank you very much.
That caught me so off.
I knew I'd beat him.
Oh my god!
You just have to
It's
set
pronouncing
Oh.
your E's as U's like very.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mike Henry is on the show.
Oh man!
No.
Shout out, Mike Henry.
No.
We need more lemon pledge.
No. Mr. Rubin, no home. Mr. Rubin, no home.
Oh no, Jabba's cat escaped. I sure hope he doesn't blame the hell.
No, Jabba. Oh, no. Kitty.
How did this go this
Oh,
way?
hey there, Miss Leonza. I was just wondering if you'd come on down to the cellar.
That's it, Jesse. Get the ball.
Yeah, there's some nice popsicles.
Oh man!
This is getting unsettling.
If anybody even cares at this point, my TV crush was Amanda Seyfried.
Oh,
Ah.
Anyone care?
Do you know,
There you go.
actually, I was just about to say, what the hell were we doing before this?
Episode 3 of the ADHD podcast with guests.
I was like sat there going, what were we doing before we just started quoting Family Guy?
Oh,
Thanks for
It's maximum distraction.
Oh, wait, all the pecan sandies.
Oh man!
Mine's Lois Griffin. No, it's not.
Remember that Red Dwarf when they're talking about the Flintstones? She didn't Wilma sexy. This is insane. We're talking about having sex with Wilma Flintstone. Yeah, she'll never leave Fred.
It's all about Betty. It's all about Betty Rubble. Just saying.
It's all about Betty Rubble. Oh man! I'm trying to think of what Rubens is.
You can say anything at this rate, pal. I don't think anyone's listening anymore.
Everyone's tuned out.
Switched off 5 minutes ago.
Whenever we all started doing Family Guy impressions.
Everyone's just watching Family Guy now. That's right.
At our recommendation, would you look at that? Do you know, actually, I have got this real thing now for Elizabeth Olsen.
No,
But
shock.
as the 50s, as she plays the 50s character in
So you like 50s Wanda Maximoff?
well, I don't think so, but it's one of those things. Like
Just
I don't
completely invalidated your whole point.
it's something about how she gets on because it's like the 50s and 60s. There's just something about, I don't know, like the voice, whatever. There you go. Next question, please. For God's sake, talk about something else.
My next question was going to be, who is a celebrity crush?
Oh. Oh, well, damn it, I'm sorry.
Well, Ruben knows mine.
You sunk my battleship. I already have. Apparently, I know Richard because he's just told me.
Yeah, that's true. What would yours be? I'm trying to think of what shows that you like.
Do you want another off the cuff question to keep it
Go
fair?
Go for it.
Stuck on a desert island with any actor or actress who you stuck there with?
Richard is.
Or who are they stuck there with? Sorry.
Richard is still Amelia Clark.
Same one. Same answer. Stuck on a desert island.
Who are they stuck with?
Ooh, right. Here we go. I don't feel bad about the silence now because I know that it's just going to get
for it.
because I know it's either going to get edited out or people are going, thank goodness they've stopped talking. Stuck on a desert island with... I know who your TV crush is while we're...
Okay.
But it's the same as my answer. But I could be wrong. Right. I have said Mrs. Maisel.
That's correct.
Is it? Yes!
That is Rachel Brosnan in The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel is absolutely... I would marry that woman. Only as that character. Not anything else. not her as a person. I don't like her as a person. I like the person she pretends to be.
What's mine?
I mean, Amelia Clark?
No.
Your celebrity crush?
No, the question was...
Oh, the desert island?
All right. Want to be stuck on a desert island with?
Talk to me, fair.
No.
Who would you want to stuck on a desert island with? Andy Samberg.
Andy Samberg? You'd end up killing him by like day 2.
You're the same person?
Yeah, that's true.
No. Well, they say that the same personalities clash.
I'm going to go cry in the bathroom now.
I would be stuck on a desert island with Bear Grylls.
Oh,
that's a good shout.
Somebody went for the smart answer.
Yeah, he's thought that through, hasn't he?
Yeah.
I reckon he has the tastiest wee of all of the celebrities.
Mine's Jeremy Irons because we can sit and eat his cereal all day and he'll tell me interesting stories about it.
And if you are looking for a prize at the bottom, there is nothing. Only more cardboard.
If you're looking,
you beat me by a
If you're
second.
looking for a sweet treat, I assure you, it's quite bland.
Oh my gosh. Right, next up, Ribs.
I don't think I have another question.
I've got one. I've got one off the cuff. In fact, we can do this for the 4 of us. So, like, I'll ask it and then because I don't know what Ribs would be. Favorite movie score?
So not soundtrack.
Not soundtrack. So mine wouldn't be The Power of Love from Back to the Future. But what's their favorite score?
I'm trying. I think I. Yeah, no, I've got mine.
I feel like mine's really easy though.
Yours is obviously
Yeah, I think I know what Richard is. As a fan of the podcast. I reckon yours is Captain America: The Winter Soldier.
Ooh, it's not, but it's close.
It's good, but it's not right.
So what?
You beat me to that, then. Because I don't have the Irish accent.
Yeah, it's good, but it's not right. I ordered a corner. No.
Do you know I met him in a bar you're going back now about 10 years, and whoever we were with, we asked him if we could get a photo, and he was lovely. Like, he was so nice. He's like, okay, come on in, we'll do a photo. And after whoever took the photo, like, showed it back to him, and he went, well, what do you think of that? And I said, it's good, but it's not right. and the look he gave me
like he'd pissed in his cornflakes.
was contempt. Absolute contempt. Like, just
Did you intentionally
like,
do it though?
Oh, yeah, like 100% on purpose. But he did not find that funny at all.
That's because he probably looked at it and went, "What have I done with my life?"
Like, he's probably like, "Well, that's the 15th time I've heard that since I entered this bar."
Yeah.
The Father Ted one in it. I don't believe it.
Oh yeah, the episode. He tries chasing
The caves.
Oh man.
Right.
Is that the one with Graham Norton starts singing Bohemian Rhapsody under the big pile of rocks? Isn't it?
It is.
Which all you need to hear is that.
Like,
just context.
Yeah. Don't even need the clip.
I reckon JT's is a Star Wars.
I reckon JT's is the Last Crusade.
Ruben got it right.
Ah.
Do you know what my second choice was?
What's that?
My second choice was the score of Batman Forever.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. That is a great score.
Nice.
Not the only thing in the film that's good.
Yeah, that's fair. Phil. What is Phil?
I'm trying to think because I'd say Blues Brothers, but that's soundtrack.
Soundtrack, yeah.
There isn't really a score, is there? Because the band provide the music for the film. I'm just trying to think.
I would say Phil's is probably Star Wars. No?
It's not going to be Bond. Back to the Future.
Nope. Everybody gets one.
Right, Rich, bring us on.
Let's take a guess.
Debbie does Dallas.
I was going to say Bond.
No, it's probably in my top 5 though, I would think.
What is it then?
Jurassic Park?
Oh, that's obvious now. I know
it is obvious now you think about it. Yeah,
that's a good one. That's a good choice. Rubes, yours. I'm caught because I think it's either Star Wars, James Bond. I'm trying to think if
I didn't think this was multiple choice, Mr. Abyss.
I'm gonna say the James Bond theme, the ding 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 ding. I'm gonna say that's your.
Thank you, Richard, for the wonderful rendition of the James Bond theme.
Anybody sitting going, what's that James Bond one?
Is Roy Walker sitting at home?
Who to blame for James Bond?
No, it is not.
Anybody else?
I don't know. I've already guessed mine, and I got it wrong.
Have you?
I think Civil War, Captain America Civil War. I think it's a Marvel one.
Nope.
For Ribs?
Oh, sorry, no, that was for Richard. Oh, sorry, it was miles away. I was trying to remember.
So yes, it is. Do you want me to? I know
Richard was on my screen as well.
Do you want me to show you? It's a.
Yeah, go on.
Such literally just like the entire,
MCU,
like just the the Avengers score. Oh my gosh,
yeah,
I love it. Just that.
That's an epic bit of music.
Oh man,
I think Rubens is James Bond.
It's not.
Damn.
Is it Cats and Dogs: The Revenge of Kitty Galore?
He just knows me too well.
What a throwback, though, to Cats and Dogs: The Revenge of Kitty Galore.
I was trying to think of something so shite.
What about Spy Kids?
But that has a good
score.
Don't
you dare knock Spy Kids.
Spy Kids is banging.
Do you know?
I think that could be a name of the podcast in itself. Spy Kids is banging.
Do you know? There's a thing that I've noticed on in memes now, which is the phrase "this lives in my head rent free."
Yeah,
and I think that the translation is just something that occupies your mind and always will. And for me, you know the bit whenever they put the thing in the microwave in Spy Kids and they press a button and a full pizza comes out?
Yeah.
That, since I've seen that lives in my mind rent free. As like
or the little henchmen that are just thumbs.
That
thumb.
That lives in my nightmares. What kind of foreplay can you get into with a thumb?
The pizza thing's basically Rob from Back to the Future Part 2, though.
Oh yeah.
Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Do you not think it's weird though that Machete is a sequel to the Spy Kids?
Yeah, it is bizarre. It's really strange.
You're gonna need to explain that. You're gonna need to dive into that a bit more.
Yeah, he plays Uncle Machete, and it's the same Machete from Spy Kids.
Yeah.
No. Shut up.
Oh my!
Honestly,
right in the childhood.
Right
in the childhood.
Yeah, see.
Yeah, see?
Look here, see.
One of these days, Alice. One of these days.
Right to the moon.
Oh my gosh.
So, James, it is not.
You still don't know what Rubens is.
What is
it?
It's actually quite Inception.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
I don't have a score. I was just going to say, yeah, it's just.
That's it.
Christopher Nolan noises.
It's like Hans Zimmer farted near a microphone. I'm like, yeah, that's what I meant to do,
And
lads.
it's still absolute musical gold.
What's the episode in South Park when he tries to like recreate
farts.
it?
Oh, the
The
Inception.
sheep.
No,
Meh.
Is it the guy standing behind him?
Oh man.
That's one of the best episodes of South Park you'll ever see. Is
so
Inception.
It's awesome. It's so funny.
Inception is incredible.
Hello, I'm Dr. Chinstrap.
Okay.
My favorite one was always the Scarface.
Morning, babe.
Do you remember this? Do you remember the Scarface parody one with the medicinal KFC?
Yes.
It's when he throws him out of the helicopter and he's with Colonel Kentucky.
Informant for Jamie Oliver.
I'm afraid your friend was an informant for Jamie Oliver. Like, oh, class. Absolutely brilliant.
South Park is nothing but pure genius.
It's just awesome.
My favourite episode's the human scent iPad.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, that
yes.
was mental.
My favorite one is Imagination Land for sure.
That one's really good.
That is a good one.
That was meant to be the second
I know it's
film.
technically 3 episodes, but
It was
I
meant to
guess-
be the second film. They
Really?
released Imagination Land to be the second South Park film, and then they realized that they could split it into 3 perfect segments. So
Yeah.
they just made it into a 3-parter. They did release a feature-length version of it, where they just smashed them all together and released it as a DVD, as a film. But it was meant to be the second film.
Yeah.
There you go. I did not know that.
Every day's a school day.
Oh yeah.
So I've got a couple more questions for you guys.
This is gonna get out of hand here, so as well. Let's be like,
What is their favorite animated movie of all time?
oh, for me that could be anything. Richard, good luck. Big animation fan over here, so
I know what mine is, but
I'm glad because I don't know what yours is.
Somebody had to know.
but I don't know whether or not mine. No, do you know what?
I don't even think you'll have heard of mine, Richard. I'm not gonna lie, but okay.
Well, there's a flipping.
Have a good guess though.
I'm trying to think now. I'm trying to think of like really obscure stuff that you might have told me about. I'm drawing a blank. Like I would have probably said. See, I was thinking Who Framed Roger Rabbit, but then, like, it's part.
There's an easier one to
Animation.
be fair. There's one of mine that is easier to guess than the other, so I'll go with the easier one. You do know that one; it's very well known.
Is it Justice League War or Raw or some? No,
Raw, Justice League Raw. That's a very different version. That's going back to porno or porno. Is what that is. That's
Such a good game.
Welcome to Justice League Raw.
That doesn't sound like a good time.
That doesn't sound like a good time.
That brings
Oh, I
Batman's
love
gadgets a whole new meaning.
Heyo. This one has suction cups on it, Joker.
Holy Marilade, Batman.
Oh dear. Ruben, I honestly don't know.
Do you not know?
No, I genuinely don't even know where to start.
Mine is, well, it's one of 2, but the easier one to guess was Alice in Wonderland.
Oh, right enough. Yeah. See, I.
The more difficult
Right
one
enough.
to guess was Kubo and the Two Strings.
Jeepers flipping heck.
It's a marvelous film. I think yours is Shrek, Richard.
Nope.
It's going to be Shrek 2 now, isn't it?
Shrek 4.
Shrek the Third, which still has one of the best bits whenever Shrek and Fiona are having some time alone and someone knocks the door and Shrek goes, well, somebody better be dying. That's just the kid going, I'm dying.
Oh Oh dear.
Highlight of the film, but yeah. So it's not Shrek.
Not Shrek. It's easy.
Like a Sunday morning.
Like a Sunday morning. Mimi, Sunday mornings.
I remember.
I remember.
Remember animated movies? Hi, Mimi.
Oh,
I don't know,
dear.
Richard. What is it?
Lion King.
Oh, I should have known.
Oh,
that.
yeah, of course.
Also one of the greatest soundtracks ever written.
Awesome soundtrack.
Amazing film, just in general.
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant. Brilliant. A Tale as Old as Time, but still a great film. And then Black Panther copied it. Sip me tea.
But that's none of my business.
Do you want to do questions?
Yeah, let's do some
We'll
questions.
go on to some questions.
wanna do some questions?
Listener questions. That's some questions.
I have got a question that is for us all. And it comes from my beautiful German friend, Florin. And he asks, why are all movie villains Russian or German?
Because of World War II,
Pretty much.
presumably.
I mean,
Yeah,
that's the short
pretty
answer.
sure that's
Oh.
I mean, it's a reflection of its time, isn't it? Like back in the
Yeah.
50s, they were all like because of the war and the kind of Cold War, and like nowadays, most villains are like in some way from the Middle East.
Yeah. It's very sort of genre specific as well, because if you go back to like spaghetti westerns, you had a lot of like very English villains. You know, like the English accent was seen as like quite sort of malevolent and scary.
Yeah, it's quite, like you say, specific, isn't it? And of its time. And yeah, the Cold War definitely influenced the 70s and the 80s.
Yeah, for sure.
I think it
World
now
War.
just fits a movie blueprint now, doesn't it? I
You
think there's
can
a
not-
certain
you
movie
can kinda
blueprint
map-
that fits.
Things change as well, because obviously when like tensions rise politically and things, they tend to move away from things so as not to offend anymore. It's like they get as many jabs in as they can,
Yeah.
and then it's like, right, okay, we've rung that one out, and then you
Yeah.
start
Oh, yeah.
on, don't you?
That's
I think
also
that-
true, yeah.
Cause one of the reasons why you don't see it as much now is because like because with the German accent, for example, it just sort of works. You know, and like the James Bond films overdid the Russian thing a bit, and you know the German accent just sort of works with that villain aesthetic. Like, but the problem is now, since Die Hard, every German villain is just compared to Hans Gruber, so they've stopped doing it. Not stopped doing it, but
Perfect film as well.
Yeah,
It is a really, really fantastic film.
it is. I love Die Hard.
So
So there's that one.
thank you, Florin. Shout out, Florin.
Shout out, Florin.
Um,
He sent me two. If you could erase one movie genre from existence, what would it be? It's quite a good one. One genre?
What entire genre? Wow,
Would we count period pieces?
Maybe. Would that be?
Technically
Yeah,
is a
that'd
genre,
be a
yeah.
genre. Yeah, that would be.
I'm just
I think I
thinking
would
about.
go with, as long as they left like neo westerns alone, I would go with westerns.
Yeah, I might have to say Western. But then, does that remove
Nah.
Django from
technically,
existence?
Django's
Django's
neo-western.
Western.
But
So-
like I said, if they left neo westerns alone, because it's the whole thing of like when the genre changed and it started being more sort of
Are they Westerns with Keanu Reeves?
Neo Western. Oh, that took me a second.
yeah.
It's because it was terrible.
Thank you, James.
You're very welcome, Ruben.
He
Yeah,
likes
it's
to
not-
keep
that-
me right.
That sort of like post western, you know, stuff like No Country for Old Men and like
All
you
right.
know, that sort of stuff.
Oh,
Where it's not the spaghetti western tropes, you know, it's not like the same single straight line between good and evil sort of job. Like I would erase spaghetti westerns, I think, because it's
yeah, probably agree. But only because I'm trying to save every other. Like, I would only choose that one to save the
know.
others.
yeah.
Honestly,
I-
don't know.
Like a follow-up question to, like a kind of question to this would be, what movie franchise universe would you erase from existence, and why would it always be the Fast and the Furious?
Yeah, I'd probably agree. Yeah, I think I agree with that.
I swear to you, I'm going to put a bet down here now of like £5 on my firstborn son that if they don't go back in time in Fast and Furious 10, I will eat my socks or something. I bet you there that there's going to be some kind of space time travel. So
we're going into space in number 9.
You get a £5, my firstborn son, and I'll eat a sock.
I'll hold you to that.
So if they're going,
you heard it here.
If they go to space in 9 and they've said that 10, it's going to be called Fast X. I'm calling it here. They're going to go back in time.
Directed by Elon Musk.
I'm thinking group cinema trip, all right? So like, bring a sock, your firstborn son, and a £5.
And a certificate that gives you the rights to my firstborn son.
Yeah.
That his wife has signed very much reluctantly.
Yeah.
She's downstairs, has no clue that I'm signing off our children.
We'll get on the phone to Universal and make sure that they hold back the release until such a time as she's about to give birth, and then whoever wins can be put on the birth certificate.
They're just like a really like stereotypical like Simpsons lawyer like bursts into the waiting room and goes, "Are you aware that you signed this form 2 years ago?"
Didn't realize that Joe Pesci.
Mr. Simpson.
Didn't realize Joe Pesci was now a Simpsons lawyer. Did you realize that you signed this form?
I'll be over like on a chair like John Belushi in the Blues Brothers, like, "Sell me your children." Sell them.
He's waiting until Lockdown 9 to bring it out. That's all that's happening.
Yeah.
Lockdown 9.
Starring Vin Diesel.
Are you ready?
The ASMR podcast.
Oh, I was going to do another question there, but I realized we haven't. No, we have answered that, but we all kind of decided that we'd.
I think the Fast and the Furious can say goodbye for the sake of Hollywood.
Yeah, mate.
Yes. This is
You've chosen.
This question comes from Nikki. Can you describe what Marcellus Wallace looks like?
Oh, well, a follow-up question, Nikki, is does he look like a bitch?
Does he look like a bitch? Have you seen, there's like a meme, and it was Pulp Fiction, I Guess Who? And it's just, all the questions are, does he look like a bitch?
I can raise it and do one better.
Go on.
There's a video, and it's the Summer Nights duet from Greece, and it's tell me more, does he look like
a bitch? I've seen that one, it's so good.
Well, a follow-up question.
If you want a literal answer to that, I think he looks a little bit like Ring Rames.
That's a good show. He does look a little like Ving Rhames.
That's fair. Not too much, but enough.
No, a wee touch. Just a wee touch like Ving Rhames. Yeah. Well, a follow-up question is to that, Nikki, and I want you to answer me this. What language do they speak and what? Do they speak English and what?
We went to see Pulp Fiction at the drive-in cinema during like the first lockdown.
Back in 1957 after we got some shakes and Arties.
It's weird to say things now, like some girl like flipping skates over on a pair of like really old like wheelbarrows. "Hey hon, you want more nachos?"
That was oddly natural for you, Richard.
Told you, my weekend outfit's just hanging right there.
Richard goes by Cherry on the weekends.
Cherry. I said that line, the one about "Can I get you anything, Han?" And I thought of about raisins from South Park. Then
I'm Portia. Can I get you anything?
Oh man.
Oh my word! But I've got one here. So this one comes from Kerry.
Shout out Kerry.
And this is excluding the Godfather trilogy. If it's your favorite, what would you say is the greatest trilogy of all time?
Back to the Future. In fact, no, I don't know.
You were very quick to the punch there.
It gets a bit loose now towards the third film.
I'd probably go Back to the Future, to be honest. I think even in terms of like how much I enjoy watching them, like even over the original trilogy of Star Wars.
Yeah, but Back to the Future is just 1 6-hour film, though.
That is true, though. Yeah, it's
that
just
is true. True.
But would that then qualify it as like a successful trilogy? If it's a successful story,
no, I think that's the whole thing, isn't it? It's like because the first one can be a film on its own.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I think that does qualify it because they tied them together so perfectly. Mm-hmm. Like it's so that trilogy is so perfectly laced together.
If we're actually sticking to trilogies, I'm going for Lord of the Rings.
Okay,
I'm going Star Wars original.
You want Star Wars original?
Would that count though? Because there's now like 20
but they're
films or
in
something?
trilogies. So if you're going to keep it as trilogies, then because technically the Middle Earth movies are now a Middle Earth saga. Star Wars is a saga. Well, it's more than that now, isn't it? Whatever it is.
It's a farce.
I'm going to stick with Back to the Future. I'm going to stick with Back to the Future. I freaking love Back to the Future. I think it's brilliant.
Does Indy still count, even though they made a fourth one?
No, because there's the fourth.
Because there is actually a fourth one.
And there's going to be a fifth, a seventh, and a 12th.
As long as it keeps making that moolah, it'll keep getting milk.
Money. Big question here. I do know my answer to this. What is your favorite film of the last decade?
I'm going to go really stereotypical here because
Endgame.
I'm going to say Endgame, and I'm going to say that because if I'm taking the decade in, I'm going back to, the first Avengers film, which was 2012, the build up, then, Age of Ultron, just the build up, and then like me seeing Endgame and just being like a kid again, like sitting in front of this amazing. So I'm gonna be like really like stereotypical to say, and like from my own personal.
It was a great film though.
Oh, it was. It was a perfect ending to just a marvelous decade of filmmaking.
I thought that Infinity War was a better sort of final film.
Yeah.
But Endgame, and it does it so well, but it feels like a victory lap.
So I've got
I think that's fair.
Not like a theory, but like my own headcanon is that, so that the kind of list of films that you've got is it's setting up the kind of universe, the characters, all the different things. Infinity War is then a Thanos film, so it's not an Avengers film. So they're all splintered. They're not really speaking to each other. They're not ready, whereas he is. And you see him just coming in and just walking through that finish line and getting it done. And then you're left as the viewer with that gut feeling of like, oh my gosh, they lost. Like I've just watched characters fade away. And although we all knew that they were coming back, the initial punch was, oh my gosh, that like he just dusted like characters that I love. And then Endgame is the kind of victory, the big like final victory for them. So the two films need to go back to back because they just flop off each other so well. But yeah, Infinity War is the better film because it sets the stakes for Endgame. Yeah,
I think that's fair. JT, what do you think? Last 10 years favorite film? It's a hard question, but
I've got two. I know I'm right off the bat, but I can't pick, so I'm giving you both.
That's fine.
I've got Argo.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I've got Parasite.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Both two absolutes. Just
what year did Argo come out?
2012?
2010.
2010.
Ah, okay.
10?
See, I've got two as well. Mine are either Inception, which came out in 2010, or Whiplash.
Oh yeah.
That's a good one.
Whiplash would probably be one of mine as well, to be honest.
It's still my favorite, and you guys actually touched on it in your podcast last week. One of my favorite lines is the two most dangerous words in the English language are "good job."
Good job. Yeah.
It's just such a big line and such a big moment in that film as well.
It's an awesome movie. It's so good.
J.K. Simmons is just
sensational, isn't he?
Yeah, hateful. Yeah. He's hateful in it. Like he is hateful, but he's just he's so good.
Yeah. I think mine would to be honest, Whiplash is one of mine. But the Grand Budapest Hotel.
Oh, that's a fabulous film.
Yeah, it's a sensational film, isn't it?
I'm not a big fan of Wes Anderson in general.
I'm not,
but just that film was astonishing because he's usually so kind of very style over substance, and it's usually like the storyline starts falling apart with but like as long as all the camera shots are like perfectly symmetrical and everything's pink, it's fine. But like the Grand Budapest was astonishing because it's just
flawless, isn't it?
The story just worked perfectly with his style of filmmaking.
Yeah,
you watch stuff like the Royal Tenenbaums and it was all right, but it just the style didn't fit. You know what I mean? The style didn't fit the story very well.
Yeah,
I don't think. But Budapest really found that middle ground. And I mean, talking even talking just cinematography, like Whiplash again is another one that was just so beautifully shot and edited, and you know,
for a movie about drumming, it's just epic. It is epic.
Drumming takes a back seat, really, doesn't it?
It does, yeah, it does. But it's just, it's just
the main thing
else.
that it's kind of the main thing that Queen's Gambit reminded me of, because it was that thing of like taking something fairly simple like drumming or chess and turning it, you know, like having that as like the main thing, and then putting a really deep story underneath it,
just making it extravagant in the background.
Yeah, that's it kind of reminded me of that.
I have one question, and this can finish it off because it's not a movie related one, but it's I suppose it's going to see what sort of people we are. So this is from Matthew. Shout out Matthew.
Shout out Matthew.
So you're on a boat, it's sinking. There is one lifeboat, and it can only fit 3 people on it. There is you, a doctor, a 12-year-old boy, a pregnant lady, and an elderly man. The 12-year-old boy doesn't feel well and needs immediate medical attention. Who are the 3 getting on the boat?
This is like a real, like a proper like philosophical. Where do you stand? This is
This is just this has been an hour and a bit of nonsense. So let's talk sense for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
There's no way you do that without coming off like a bastard.
No, there's not.
Exactly.
Way to do it.
Exactly.
You can't separate the doctor and the kid.
Well, you could.
Then can you?
I mean, you can.
There's you and 3 spaces, but then there's a doctor, a pregnant lady, an old man, and a kid.
So technically
kid,
speaking, there's just only 3 spaces. So you are part of the who's getting on the boat.
Right. So it's not you and 3; it's you and 2.
No.
Okay.
And that's if you're getting on the boat. Do you know what I mean? If you go, sod it, I'll just stay here and I'll let other people live.
Am I me now, or am I a character? Or
so your Jack and Rose is seeing if she can get onto the boat.
I was trying to think about it from
Fetch me the big door.
It's that scene from a scary movie whenever he's like, it's a bit cold, and she goes, I'll get you a jacket, and she like walks like the full like length of like a room and like opens like drawers and stuff. It's like, here you go. He's like hanging off the side. I'm trying to think of this. I'm trying to think of it from like a completely like utilitarianist point of view, but I think the old man, because he's old, let him sit on the boat. I think that the 12-year-old boy, if he's not feeling well, I mean, he's 12. He could just be gurning, like. But are we there yet? The boat's gone down. I know, but we're there yet.
My tummy hurts.
I give you something to heart about.
I'll give you a money and you'll be grand.
You need more to the circumstances, though, don't you?
Well,
my thing with this is like looking at it from like a practical, mathematical perspective, right? Like the pregnant woman, you're technically saving 2 people, aren't you?
Yeah.
So like that, it would be like mathematically beneficial to save the pregnant woman, because then that's 2 people in one. So then you can save another 3 altogether.
I mean, for all we know, this boat could be a relatively small boat, and the sea that they're in is a body of water that isn't actually fatal in any way, shape, or form. It's just a dinghy in a pool.
It's also relevant to ask why is the boat sinking? Like, have one of them on the boat done something to cause?
Has the wee boy shot a hole in the boat or something? Is that why we're leaving him behind? Because he's a very naughty boy.
You've got to think as well. Like, right, how long are they going to be stuck at sea? So, you're going to need people who can lend practical skills as well. So
you can't leave the doctor, can you? Really?
So the doctor feels like he's guaranteed his space, unless it's like Dr. Shipman or something. Leave him on the boat.
Yeah. Depends what the old man can do.
Yeah, well, I mean, it depends on like the capability and stuff like that. Yeah. Oh, this is horrible.
I'm going to say, I'm going to draw a line here. I'm going to say,
I thought I'll ask this one because this is going to make everybody go, I want to answer this really truthfully, but I don't want to be an asshole.
I'm going to say it right now. Whoever can beat me in a fight out of the old man, the 12-year-old boy, the pregnant lady, and the doctor gets a space on my boat. As far as I'm aware.
My boat.
So Richard's going down with the ship.
There's a boat. I'm looking at it going, I can beat that old man, I can beat that pregnant lady, I can beat that 12-year-old boy. My only real wall is that doctor.
I'll be honest with you,
if
I think
tell
your
him-
only real wall is the 12-year-old boy.
I'm gonna start a coup with the doctor. So there's one space. So we're gonna duke it out gladiator style. It's a doctor. No, the doctor and I are stealing the space. So the pregnant lady, the 12-year-old, and the old man are gonna fight.
Meanwhile, that whole process takes so long that you will all drown.
It only takes a couple of seconds because I look at him and go, do you want to get on the boat, doctor? And he goes, aye. And then I say, right, you guys fight. And they start going at each other.
Like somewhere there's like an old man being asked this question, right? And what he's saying is, right, so there's this Irish guy and his kid fighting and distracting each other, so the rest of us legged it.
And he goes, I've got this Irish guy's kid because Fast and Furious went into space. So
I'm just going to be on the lifeboat with my thumb up, determining whether or not their battle was good enough to get onto my boat.
What if?
All right, so you're going to get on the boat and watch them fight each other.
What if?
They're fighting for a space on my lifeboat.
That makes more sense.
Yeah, spoilers here, guys. What if they're all the same person, like Predestination?
But how's the pregnant doctor lady a 12-year-old boy?
Richard,
and an old
watch
man?
Predestination and you will have that question answered.
Right, okay.
I'm going to have to put like a massive spoiler alert thing at the start.
Richard will have forgotten about that movie by the time this podcast ends.
Yeah, absolutely. What movie?
He's too busy wondering what he's going to name his
It was Flintstones in Viva Las Vegas.
Oh, no, yeah, that's a belter. That's the belter. Don't you go bringing in Flintstones and not
the one with
expecting
Mark Addy or the one with
with
John Goodman.
John Goodman's poor
It was
family.
discount John Goodman.
Discount John Goodman. So what will we say? I think Richard's is probably the most entertaining plan, which is Richard gets on the boat and watch the rest of them have a scrap.
I'm just saying, I'm a healthy 29-year-old man. I can make a group of people fight.
Healthy?
Yeah. You guys wait here. I'll go get help.
As the boat, all you hear is just the
just me rowing away. I'll be right back.
Land's only a few days away. I'll be back.
Well, doctor, it looks like we're rowing off together.
I'll be back with a copy of Fast 9.
I'll let you know whether they time travel or not.
What he then doesn't realise is that he rows into the film dead calm and becomes the killer.
And then him and his best friend Wilson live
white
happily
yacht
ever
over
after.
Wilson! My name's Voight, dumbass.
Oh my word.
We've been doing this for an hour and a half. I've had a blast.
That all?
Yeah, it's been fun.
Yeah, this has been good crack.
Thanks for having
guys,
us on,
thank you
guys.
so much.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you for
Thanks,
joining.
guys.
If you've made it for the full hour and a half, I'm not sure how much Phil's going to edit, how much nonsense is going to stay in.
It's mostly going to stay in, I think.
Good stuff. If
You've
you
made
it
the
this
hour and a
far,
half, thanks.
thank you so much. If you're itching for more, please check out theirs. It's great.
What's it called again?
Richard, what's it called?
Lost in
His own museum.
There's just his missus behind camera there holding like cue cards up.
Just holding it up. It's called Lost
Museum in his own.
It's called Lost in His Own Museum. Damn it! Put the question mark on the cue cards.
You know he reads everything that's on there. But yes, lads, thank you very much for coming on. We will have
thank
you
you
again.
No worries,
so
thank you
much.
for having us. It's been
Absolutely
awesome.
We'll
Yes,
do it
thank
again.
It's been wicked.
But until next time, it's a wrap from us.
And it's a wrap from us.
Tell me what to say. I don't know.
It's a wrap from them. It's a wrap from us.
And it's good night from me.
And it's good night from him.
Good night.